Hey people of VC, it's Andy, a Cloudy, a Mulder. Another video of me going through the ever expanding inbox. I truly wish I could be one of those people that would buy something and play it straight away, but as often is the case, I grab stuff when I see it because I don't think I'll see it again, and sometimes it can be days, weeks, months before I actually get around to playing it. So I'm making a concerted effort this year, certainly for the rest of this year, to maybe cut down on some of those purchases, not on everything, but really acquaint myself with what I've already bought and get my money's worth out of it that way. So let's dive in. So having said that some of these things can be in the inbox for a long time, this one didn't even touch the sides. So this is the Throne Within from Ram. Just released a few weeks ago now on Metal Blade Records. This is their 6th studio album, and it's great. I call it a return to form. So the last album, Rod, it wasn't a bad album. It was a very good album, but it was more of a concept album, and as such, I didn't probably enjoy it as much as some of the earlier ones, but this is a real kind of it's got the classic Ram sound. Ram are in the new wave of traditional heavy metal bracket, but this album commemorates their 25th anniversary having been formed. So as I said, they've got 6 albums, an EP, and a split with Portraits. So they've done a lot of time. So there's certainly nothing new about them. And they're not the standard sort of 80s traditional heavy metal sounding band. They do have a sound of their own, and it's a sound that I absolutely love. I've probably listened to this every day since I bought it. Not so much the album, but it did come. One of my favourite things about albums is when they come with a download card, which is it's around, and it's not just a download card, but a Bandcamp download card, so you can download lossless FLAC files and get a really good digital music listening experience. This version I have is it's a European only edition. This was number 63 of 100, and it's on this that's blue, but it's on quite a rich purple colour, purple and black. It's not a splatter, splodge, smear vinyl, as we call it. The Metal Blade label, nice polyline sleeve. Metal Blade do an excellent job with their releases. I think they generally come with a I'm not going to undo the poster, but the poster is, or shall I? Let's undo the poster. It's a huge poster, and I'm going to undo it because I can't remember what it looks like. It's probably the album cover. Yeah, album cover, and some band pics on there as well. I never put up posters. I don't have the room. Windows on this side and record shelves around the other side, so just looking occasionally. And here's the strange but appealing piece of artwork on the lyric sheet. They've done various colours and there's various numbers of presses, but I say that was of 100, limited to Europe only. I'd say the sound on this one is, by return to form, I mean it's kind of, if you like Lightbringer and you like subversivism, then this is kind of a little bit of mixture of both. This will be very high on my 2019 list for sure. I absolutely love it. Blades of Betrayal is the song that they released in advance of this album, and what I love about it is it is a perfect Ram song that showcases what Ram are about, the speed, the tone of their music. And Blades of Betrayal honestly could be, you could take that one song and put that on any of the 6 Ram albums and it would fit. The only downside maybe, and it's not a bad song, but You All Leave, the penultimate song on here, is a bit of a slowie, and you know, I'm all hyped up after listening to the first 6 or 7 songs. So Blades of Betrayal is great, Fang and Fur, excellent, Violence is Golden, The Trap, I'm going to read them all out, aren't they? Spirit Reaper, and I can't read the name of the last one there. Unfortunately, the songs, they've not chosen the best stone carvings to show what the songs are here, but fantastic album, very high on my 2019 list for sure. Next up, this year I've really been getting into familiarising myself with UK thrash, having bought, I showed this book a few times, Contract in Blood. I'm working my way through this, YouTubing various bands, and some of them I'd heard of but never really dug my toe in. And the best thing about this book is I'm really anal when it comes to things like books and stuff, and I don't take them anywhere, and I leave them on the shelf, and I'm very careful with them. But as you can see, this one is a bit dog-eared. I spilt coffee on it one time, and it was kind of a blessing in disguise, because it meant I no longer gave a toss about looking after it as such. So I chuck this in my bag, I read it, get it out of work occasionally if I just want a change of scene. When the kids go swimming, it's chucked in my bag, and in the change room reading the Contract in Blood, so I can I can write all over it as well now, so I can make little notes about the bands I'm gonna check out and tick and all sorts. So I will probably end up when I finished it trying to get a more pristine copy for my my heavy metal book library, but absolutely loving this book. It's like it's one of the best heavy metal books I've ever had, from just discovering new bands. One of those bands is a band I'd heard of but never picked anything up, so I got my first re-animator. This is a Deny Reality. This is it's a 6-track EP, but as you can see, OPC on side 2 opener is only 20 seconds long. They've got the thrash metal look, but they kind of suffered from, well, a lot of UK bands were late to the thrash metal scene. They were thoroughly influenced by what was happening in the Bay Area. Jumped on the band, but they didn't even jump on the bandwagon. They loved the music, they just wanted to play it. But as far as the music industry was concerned, they were kind of a little bit too samey and a little bit too late. But it's great going back and discovering them now. So Deny Reality by Re-animator on the Under One Flag label, so that's the UK thrash metal subsidiary of Music for Nations. And this one comes with the lyric inner and obligatory, slightly comedy UK thrash metal photo on the inner sleeve as well. What do they sound like? To me, it's very tight thrash metal. It's kind of, to me, early Testament, bit of early Anthrax, smidge of Megadeth chucked in as well. Deny Reality and Re-animator are the favourite songs off that one. Now this is an album I have been looking for a long time. I've had it on CD since the mid-90s, and I've been patiently searching out a copy of this on vinyl. I wouldn't have called it a grail, but I was delighted when I actually found it. And it's the third release, but the sort of the second full album from Zodiac, Mind Warp and The Love Reaction. Now their first album, Tattooed Beat Messiah, is one of my favourite albums of all time. Absolutely love that one. And this is nowhere near as infectious or as good, should we say, as that one. But it doesn't make it a bad album. It's a pretty solid album, and there are some really good songs on here. The lyrics are less raucous, less sexually oriented, should we say. I guess they grew up a bit on here, and this is the early 90s. This is what, 1991. So it wasn't the 80s anymore, so people were kind of changing their attitude with music. But as I say, still some great songs on here. Feed My Frankenstein, Tomorrow Belongs to The Love Reaction. The opening song, Elvis Died For You, is really good. Even sort of the cheesy songs like the President of the United States of Love, Dr. Jekyll and Me, Hoodoo Thunder. It's a thoroughly good album, just nowhere near as good as the first one. If you're not familiar with Zodiac Mind Warp, I guess you could file them under the sleaze metal category if you really needed to pigeonhole them. This is on the Music Disc label. Nothing fancy there. And as usual, the inner sleeves. So all UK releases tended to have inner sleeves with lyrics on, printed inner sleeves rather than an insert, which seemed to be more the norm in the US. But there we go. Absolutely minty inner sleeve came with that one, so that was really, really good. Very, very happy to finally get that in the collection. I've got in my inbox, I've got quite a few 2019 releases that I've not even heard yet. I've been, so to say, guilty of grabbing them because I didn't want to miss them, and then not actually getting around to playing them. And I want to make sure that I give them all a really good going over before the end of the year, so when it comes to doing my 2019 list, I can actually know what I'm talking about and not just hold up albums I barely know. So the next 2 or 3 of these videos that I will be doing will include at least 1 or 2 2019 releases. So I've done Ram already, but as I say, I only had that one a few weeks ago. This one I actually forgot I bought. How embarrassing is that? So I think I saw Scott Waters put this on his Instagram account. So this is Smolder, Times of Obscene Evil and Wild Daring. And when I saw the picture of it pop up on Instagram, I was like, I'm sure I bought that. I had to go through and I dug it out and loved it. I was actually introduced to this album by another VC member, Lyricide17, Travis. He played a snippet of it. I went straight onto Amazon, having heard the snippet, and I saw that the vinyl was selling for about £11. The CD was over £15, so I thought, thank you very much, Amazon, I will have a piece of that. Although I fully expected the CD to show up or the order not to be fulfilled at all. But nothing came at all. So this was on May 14th, and almost, well, exactly a month later to the day, on June the 13th, I got an email from Amazon saying they were still trying to obtain the item, and they will email as soon as they have a delivery date, and they're making every effort to ship as soon as possible. But if I'd like to cancel it, that's an option as well. Well, it was still available on Amazon. It was still showing in stock, albeit at a much higher price. So I thought, sod that, no, I'm going to wait. And eventually it turned up on July the 30th, like a full month and a half after ordering it, by which time the vinyl was £26 on Amazon. So was the album worth the wait? Was it worth the wait in the postage? It was worth the wait sitting in the box and me having forgotten I bought it? Absolutely. It is Arcane Power Doom. And how do I know that? It says so on the top. I'm not sure it's a description that I could have thought up, but I think it's a description that fits it really well. There are 6 tracks on here. It's kind of it's kind of crushing doom, but also a little bit upbeat at the same time. Nice, clean vocals, female-fronted vocals, but it's also got those gut-twisting riffs and killer solos to boot. It's a really, really good release for this year. I'm not sure it will be in my top 5 at the moment, but there's still time for me to change my mind. Yeah, so this one also came with quite a good package. So this was almost at Cruz del Sur Records, and they put out some really quality releases. They still sound really good, and the packages are really good. There's the inner lyric sheet with the band and lyrics, and really, really nice custom labels. It's the same label on both sides, but we don't have an A and a B side. We have a wild side and an evil side. very, very cool stuff, worth checking out if you like that sort of heavy metal, doom-laden heavy metal rather than the full-on doom. And the poster, I don't remember what this is, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to be the album cover. Yeah, there we go. Times of obscene evil and wild daring. This also came with a download card as well, which I've used, and again it's a Bandcamp Bandcamp download, I believe. So absolutely fantastic. If it's not going to come with a CD, then I am very, very happy if it comes with a lossless digital media, because I can listen to it on the way to work and get that full experience and not have some crappy MP3s to listen to. Ooh, 15 minutes, so we've still got a few to go, so let's try and speed things up. Don't adjust your sets. This is a 10-inch. It's a split between Substratum and Skeletor. Skeletor is a band I'm fairly new to. I have the new album Cyber Metal this year, which is absolutely fantastic. That's going to be very high up on the list. Saw this for a decent price on eBay, delivered from the US, so thought I would go for it as well. I believe the name of this split is called Battle for the Emerald City. It's from 2017. My only criticism is how hard is it to print the RPM speed on the labels to figure out myself, and it sort of sounded alright at 33 to start with till I realised the singing kicked in and thought, well no, actually 45 does sound better. Just put it on the labels, for goodness sake, don't let's have to find it out. So this is great. I would thoroughly recommend Substratum and Skeletor. Again, nice little inner sleeve there with the lyrics for and pictures of both of the bands. I think Substratum are a female-fronted band. Yeah, Amy Lee Carlson. So it's pretty good. This was the box that came in though. I caught the postman and he looked really sheepish as he was kind of handing things over. I didn't know what was in it at the time, but thankfully it was a 10-inch, and this is in perfect shape, and it came with no additional stiffeners, but as you can see the bend was at the other end of the box. So we got a bit of a get out of jail free card there though, but that would be a 12-inch album, it would have been going back for sure. Back to the UK thrash metal. This is a Virus with Lunacy from 1989. This is on the Metalworks label. I'm not 100% sure whether this is a UK or German pressing. It's not completely clear from the label and the run-out, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, does it? It's their third album. I saw these guys last year promoting the 40th anniversary of Force Recon, the album which came before this one. Coke McFinley is the only real surviving member, I think, now. He was lead guitar at the time of this, but he now also takes on the vocal duties as well. It's bass heavy, gritty, super fast thrash. I think it's another classic case of a British thrash band just being overlooked because they weren't American. This album I have played quite a lot over the last few weeks, and it gets better and better every time I hear it. I get influences from early Suicidal Tendencies, Anthrax, Violence. As a result, Force Recon is very high up on the wish list, but also a very difficult album to get hold of. Here's your label, plain black, Metalworks, and there's your band. Lyrics on the inner sleeve. The inner sleeve is a little bit split, but I don't use those anymore. And the last band I'm going to show today is this is Black Lace and Get It While It's Hot. This is a bit of a melting pot of 70s and 80s hard rock and metal, really. It's really kind of catchy hard rock, to be honest with you. I've seen the first album, Unlaced, shown quite a few times, but I don't think I have seen this one shown before. Again, female-fronted metal with Mary Ann on vocals this time. The songs in there that are really good. Speed of Sound is great. Something Bad is great, that last track on side one. The Right, the first track on side one, now that's a heavy metal song. If the others sort of fall into the hard rock bracket, then The Right makes it a metal album. The Jig Is Up, the last song on side 2, has a real Thin Lizzy vibe about it. Maybe more in the lyric style than the music, but yeah, just made me think of them. It's on Mausoleum, which is a no-brainer for me. When I see a Mausoleum, I pick it up. There were a lot of, I think I've said this before, there were a lot of probably second-rate bands at the time that couldn't get a deal anywhere else, got snapped up by Mausoleum. Didn't work for Mausoleum, they went bust in the end, but now if you're looking for something just a little bit off the beaten track from the 80s and you see something on Mausoleum, I can pretty much guarantee you'll, if you like traditional heavy metal, you will like what you find. Alright, so let me know in the comments if you're familiar with any of these or any other albums by these bands that you think I should check out. If you're still with me after 21 minutes, thank you very much, and I will see you in another video coming soon. Thanks for watching.